Okay, so she had a question about MRIs and why ankles, well, I'll let you ask your question.
Yeah, so my question is a lot of people feel that, or people that I've talked to about my own injury, that the MRI is what shows everything that's wrong with you, or if it's not a bone, it shows everything that's wrong with you. And what you've taught me is this idea of that it's not just this centrated area. It could be something in your low back, it could be something in your thighs, could be tight, your hamstrings can be tight. So can you explain how those affect your body and how your injury can be in all areas of your body?
Sure. So we discussed that if the MRI is negative or the X-ray is negative, how can this possibly, what's going on with you, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'll put these actually in the thing, but I thought these would be useful for everybody. So an MRI it's a picture, right? And a picture doesn't really always reflect what's going on. And actually, let's go right here real quick. Go on right here. So I'm going to punch you a lot. Is this going to hurt at some point?
Yeah.
And you're going to bruise, maybe.
Right. Maybe.
Or is that a positive MRI?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Does it hurt?
Not right now.
But it will?
It will.
Okay, so MRIs are negative for many reasons. And just an example, this MRI, they're showing structure. They're not necessarily showing function. They're not showing pain or motion. They also only show a fraction of the picture. So here's another picture. People on a train track. And obviously these people have this damsel, they have her chained to the train track. And this is I wonder if this is really an old picture or not. Either way though, is this a dangerous picture? Do we know that? Like, is there anything wrong with this picture? Like, is this like, well, crap, why'd they put her on that train track? There's probably a train coming, this lady probably died, right? We don't know. We don't know if if this train track is active. We don't know if there's a train on the other side of it. We don't know anything. But just because we're looking at a picture of what's going on doesn't mean that we have all the information for it. So when you go back to an MRI again, all you're seeing is a picture in time of something that might or might not be painful, okay? And we spoke in a different video about other contributing factors into an area. I'll put this back. Now, just because you have ankle pain doesn't mean that it's a muscle, tendon, ligament, fascia, scar tissue. What if it's not even related to the ankle, right? And the one that most people can really identify with is a heart attack, okay? It sends the numbness up to your face, you get the arm pain, you have it feeling like it's sitting on a chest, you can't breathe, you get sweaty, clammy, all that stuff. Now most people won't typically take that as, well, I should treat this arm, the arm hurts. So the concept of referred pain, at least is familiar with people with that. It becomes a little bit, becomes a little bit more muddy when people have identified a certain activity that could have damaged their joint. Say a car accident, they're like, well, the accident created it, right? Or running created this. But there's many different reasons why that joint can be in pain, or that region can be in pain. And most of the time, in my opinion, it's the stubborn cases that aren't getting better based upon your tissue work and your foam rolling and your stretching and all that stuff. That works in a lot of cases which merit it, but other cases don't merit it because there's another reason. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does that help with
my question? Yeah.
Have you been able to? I know that we've talked a little bit off air with it. And you've talked to other people about it. Is your understanding better, or is it? Yeah,
I mean, I've talked to a lot of different friends who are also with cranial sacral work and a lot of other modalities, and they're kind of on your page where it's like it's not necessarily your foot. It's something that you're doing on a regular basis that's provoking your issue too.
Right.
Or something that's tight in your body that you're not working out after you run or after you do your exercise.
Well, I think it's become a really novel idea to not trust your healthcare provider.
Yeah.
Which I get, it's fine.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there is truth to a lot of these things. But also, as the pendulum swings, it can be a musculoskeletal, joint, ankle, tendon. It can be all that stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it can be the other. And we started to swing a little bit this way, and the general public is kind of they're stuck over here. We all should be in the middle. Another consideration is go ahead and grab that computer, one hand, and go ahead and let's hold that thing out there, just like that. Or I'll let you grab it because it's my computer, not yours. Okay, so we're going to hold that for 10 minutes. Okay, what do you think is going to happen?
My arm is going to start getting lazy, sore, tired.
Okay. Is there anything wrong? I don't want to say anything wrong because most people say like, well, yeah, I had this past shoulder thing, but is this going to be a positive MRI? Your feeling of aching and soreness here, is this a positive MRI?
No. I mean, how would you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so there's nothing wrong with the structure just being overloaded.
Right.
Okay. And also, too, people who work out are pretty familiar with, you've heard of DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness?
Yeah.
So actually that is a categorization of a muscular injury or a fatigue-based injury, and the MRI is negative.
Of course, yeah.
But everyone's really familiar with that. So when you get to these other overloading type of things, all of a sudden it's like, well, this isn't DOMS, and stretching doesn't make it go away, so what the hell is this? There has to be something wrong with me. And there's nothing wrong with you, and you can get better. You have to allow the unloading to occur, and then you start to load it properly. Maybe if you're holding this, maybe you don't do this all day. Maybe you do it in a better way, you know?
Yeah.
So, question?
No, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can share this with all your gym buddies.
Oh, I will.
So you guys have questions on this and you've had a negative MRI but you're still in pain, just know that you can get better. The body's pretty damn resilient. I have a whole article on positive, negative MRIs. If you want to see it, I'll put a link to it in the description too. And if wherever you have a problem at, I have a bunch of mini guides as well if you want to start the process for real cheap, but good stuff that you probably should be doing for the area, which will typically create the unloading process to occur, and stuff just tends to get better. So I'll put links, and I'll see you guys next week.